What's going on, guys? Empire here. So recently you might have seen on the channel I released Royale Season 2, my very own mini battle royale map in Creative. This new season drops a new map and today I'm going to show you it. First things first, we have probably my personal favorite POI on the map, and this is Honey Hills. Honey Hills is the only recurring POI from Season 1 as I have changed maps in Season 2. As you can see, Honey Hills now features a motel, a new clock tower, and some new shops along the side, and a new boardwalk. These new additions make Honey Hills a fantastic POI and an amazing drop if you're trying to get the mechanical parts needed for crafting that we will touch on in just a moment. Now, we can't talk about this map and its respective locations without first talking about crafting. Crafting is a new feature to Royale, and you can emote to open your crafting menu at any time. Crafting allows you to craft rifles, SMGs, shotguns, and snipers. In that clip, you saw I crafted a bolt-action sniper, which I needed mechanical parts for. In this clip here, I've slowed it down so you can watch, but I've clicked on planks. I am now using the planks that I just farmed from the tree to craft a lever-action shotgun. So to explain, you can get planks from farming the wood pallets around the map, as well as these birch trees with the orange leaves, and mechanical parts can come from rusted cars like you can see right now, and just cars all over the map. Basically, anything that resembles a vehicle will drop you some mechanical parts, not planks. And now you can use these parts to craft guns. So there are many areas that have more parts than others, and that makes them more valuable drops. But now that we've briefly touched on crafting, let's get back to the actual map tour itself. Here we have Disco District. Disco District has become a fan favorite POI across Royale viewers who have also played the map. They've all told me that Disco District has become one of their favorite POIs, and I can't blame them. Disco District is fantastic. Disco District almost plays like a mix between Retail Row and Pleasant Park, with the added fun element of disco in there. There's also slurp barrels around the location, and plenty of mechanical parts, making it a fantastic drop. Next up we have Cliffside Cavern. Now Cliffside Cavern is your typical mining POI, but it's got the added little fun of that there's some restaurant stands in there to make it just a bit different than your average POI. You can also walk into this mountain and go into the mine shaft, which has plenty of loot and a really nice aesthetic with the lights lighting up the cave. I think it actually looks really cool at nighttime, and it's definitely a location that looks cool. I think you should definitely drop there too. Now, the next location I want to show you is Stoney Street. Stoney Street is your typical suburban neighborhood with a garden center, a grocery store, a restaurant with a house on top of it, a couple houses, coffee shops, parking garages, and even a beach to spice things up a little bit too. Stoney Street's pretty small, but it's really compact, and it actually creates some really fun fighting environments, and it's a really fun drop to go check out, and also it's just a good drop to loot. It makes it really fun to play. Here we have Premium Plaza. Now Premium Plaza is basically Royale's resident hot drop. It has a clock tower, a hotel, a grocery store, some restaurants, and two massive office buildings. Now this POI is absolutely gigantic, and it's filled with the most chests in Royale. It's created some really good fights, and I think it'll be really interesting to see a bunch of people land here. In the games I've played, lots of people landed here, and I can see why, and it's one of my personal favorites. Next up we have Wealthy Waters. Now Wealthy Waters is just a couple modern houses by a beach, and it gives me really like Snobby Shores vibes. Now it's pretty small, but that's okay because it's right beside a major POI, and that's kind of the point. It's supposed to be a smaller location, but overall I still think it's a really cool spot, and it looks nice, and definitely one to drop. So next up we have Surplus Square. Now Surplus Square is one of my personal favorite locations. It's an old-fashioned market, and it's got vendors all over selling all kind of different things. There's an apple orchard, a cornfield, pumpkin patch, we've got a dock, statues, like a store. It's just got a whole bunch of different stuff in here, and it's also the plank spot of the map, so you can get some really cool loot here that you can't get as much of anywhere else. And it's honestly just a really cool location. It's got a completely different vibe to anything I've seen before, and just makes it special to me. So last, but certainly not least, we have the Isle of the Assassin. Now the Isle of the Assassin, in my opinion, is the best looking location on the entire map. I think its whole tropic aesthetic mixed with the Lucky Landing temple pieces just looks so cool, and using the Lucky Landing to make a temple instead of like how it's normally used for just like houses and huts, I think is a cool like change to it. I think it just turned out really well. I'm super proud of this location. I think it's one of the best locations I've ever made, and I think it just adds a whole new feeling to this area and creates a really cool vibe, so I definitely think you should check it out. Thank you guys all for watching this overview on the new Royale Season 2 map. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to play the map with the code listed on screen right now, and I'll catch you all in the next one.